happened to be my picture that was on there. On our, I forget what they're called, the counter cards that advertise the museum. They have my pictures on there.
Oh, nice.
I've had my picture taken so many times. We had visitors from Taiwan. I think it was last year or the year before. So, my picture went back to Taiwan.
Do you want me to hold it while you
No, it's okay. I was just go say hi on here.
I have had people,
That's our tour guide.
if I'm in costume, I've had people as I'm walking up the street, either to the foundation and they get their phone. They don't think I know this. They're either videoing or taking pictures.
Oh yeah.
I walk past the Bull's Head up here.
Yes.
There's outside seating. Yeah, it's like
I'm sure.
I don't care.
It's part of the deal. Yeah.
It's fine.
So yes, we're on a historical walking tour of Lititz here, and we're having a great time learning lots about Lititz. So
once
it's taking you along.
we will be in the commercial downtown.
Okay. So yeah, past these lights, it's commercial.
This is apartments.
Okay.
There's apartments in there. And these are all. That is a private home. As is this.
Really?
Yeah, these are all
Wow.
private homes.
Oh, nice. I don't think I realized there was so much residential on this side of town. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Is this closed down, this ice cream store?
Yeah, Isabel is closed. It will be reopening as what's it called? There's another ice cream shop coming in here.
Hi, Marilyn.
That's in Brickerville, north of here.
Okay.
But there's a really good one in town. I don't know what their hours are, where they make homemade ice cream. It's Greco's. Have you been to, about Wilbur Chocolate?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Right across from Wilbur Chocolate is Greco's. They're down in the basement.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. No, I know what you're talking about. I did a chocolate walk here one time, and they had to stop there.
Yeah.
Hi, Jess.
If you were here in September, the day before Labor Day, we do a concert in our gardens, which is also our ice cream social. And Greco's has provided the ice cream for that for almost all the years except for the very first ice cream social.
Okay.
So probably going on 8 or 9 years
Okay.
now.
If you're just hopping on here, we're on a Lititz historical walking tour, and it's a dreary day, but we're loving it. It's a beautiful time it's always a good time to be in Lititz.
So what have you visited while you've been here?
This trip? Well, we mostly have been doing the Best Kept Secrets tour.
Okay.
So we did like Erfurt, Leola, New Holland, spots up there. We went to Wakefield, did a mud sail on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's way down in southern Lancaster County. We did just some stuff in Refton and that area.
My wife and I are doing the...
Hi, Phil's fan. Oh, really? Yeah. I love it. Like, I want to do it every year now.
Saturday, this coming Saturday, she's going to hit some consignment shops with
nice.
a friend of hers. Tomorrow, we'll probably do the downtown area and something close by, because I got a walking tour at 6:30 tomorrow.
Hi, Bill. Phil's fan. That's so cool you live here. It's so fun.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That one across the street.
Yes.
The stone. Think of the original construction of that is original design. It's a 1.5 story, or what we call Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is the original, what it looked like.
Really?
So the stone part is the original.
Okay.
The brick is added probably during the Victorian era.
Really?
Along with the mansard roof.
And the stained glass?
And the stained glass, I'm not sure exactly whether that was, probably was added sometime also in the, during that Victorian period. So that's going to be sometime outside of when the community opened, so outside of 1855.
Okay.
Because the Moravian Church would never have permitted that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that was built, you see, it's the Otto House.
Okay.
It was built by Dr. Otto.
Huh.
I don't know his first name.
Okay.
But Dr. Otto was a physician. However, because of the community rules, which were one of every occupation, there was a doctor here. So for him to live here, he's got to do something else.
Really?
So of course, what else is the doctor going to do? He's going to open a pharmacy.
Oh.
There was the first pharmacy in Lancaster
Well,
County.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So Dr. Otto lived there. Now, my guess is if there were a big outbreak of something, he was going to help out.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be handy to have an extra doctor around. Hi, Jess. Yes, it's a wonderful time.
That young man that did the pretzel thing.
Yes.
Julia Sturgis?
Yes.
Okay. This red brick across the street here,
Uh-huh.
Candyology and Nino's.
Uh-huh.
That was one house built around 1750, 2 stories, because if you look at the third floor,
Oh, right.
you can see
It's
the different
different.
brick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so 2 stories. It was the Roush family
Okay.
that lived there. Okay. Julius Sturgis will apprentice there as a baker.
Oh, I remember taking the tour that he did apprentice.
The bake ovens
Oh.
are in the basement.
Okay.
My understanding is that they've never been removed. Now,
Yes,
Julius,
Marilyn.
one of his jobs was to clean out the ovens in the morning before they got baking. Of course, obviously, bakers bake bread. But back in the day, they also baked pretzels, soft pretzels. So Julius probably was hungry one morning. I don't know if he forgot breakfast. Takes out some of that hard stuff and tastes it and said, try to convince Mr. Rouse this is good stuff.
I remember this part from
Except
the tour.
that he didn't want any parts of it.
Yep.
So eventually, Julius will finish his apprenticeship here. He's going to buy the bakery. Now, he's not going to open it here. He's going to go down the street.
Yeah.
Okay. And he buys a house that was built in the 1760s,
Okay.
in 1762. And then in 1871, he builds the bakery. And, of course, along the way, he perfects hard pretzels.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing it, the pieces that dropped off from baking the bread. He was like, well, these are actually pretty good. But
Yeah. So he ended up perfecting hard pretzels. And it's funny, I did for a couple of weeks ago, and it was a guy and his girlfriend, and they said they knew a guy from Austria who knew nothing about soft pretzels.
Oh, really?
But that's what came from Europe.
Right.
The only kind of pretzels they buy in Europe now are hard pretzels.
Interesting.
So we thank Julius for that.
Yeah. It's pretty important in American history and food.
Now, in this block, remember I told you, it's 99% commercial.
Yes.
There are only 3 private residences.
Okay. Can I guess?
Sure.
Is that one right there?
That's one of them.
That's just like someone's home. Like there's nothing outside of it screams,
Yeah,
you know,
this one
commercial.
was built in 1762
Really?
by William Warner. So this is one of 3 buildings in Lititz that's on the National Register of Historic Places.
Only 3?
There's only 3.
Really?
That's probably because the owners just have never
Oh,
bothered
okay.
having any of the others put on there. The first one, of course, is the Sturgis Pencil Bakery.
Okay.
one's
That makes
that's
sense.
on the National Register.
Sturgis number
So
1.
is this one.
Okay.
So what that means is once it goes on the National Register, it cannot be changed on the exterior.
Oh, nice.
So this house was built, as you see, but without the dormers,
Okay.
dormer windows.
Okay.
They were not there. They were added sometime in the 1800s.
Okay.
It's got a slate roof. The siding here is all wood. And even with, I've seen a picture, an artist rendering of it, it did have the front porch there.
Interesting.
So somebody lived in it. Somebody has lived in it, but that male has been there for weeks now, so I'm thinking they've gone.
Interesting.
They've moved. I don't know if they got evicted or
How do you like
what the
check
deal
on
might
that?
be. And I know it's also very expensive to rent.
Is it?
Somewhere in the area of about $2,000 a month.
Oh, yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, it is. So the horizontal clapboard is 1760.
Okay.
Vertical is 1800s.
Oh.
So there's an addition back there.
Oh, interesting.
You see that tree?
A tree is beautiful. Goodness gracious. That's interesting. Yeah, this is a cool looking house. What are these metal things for?
To hold your shutters. They would
Oh.
so you can close the shutters.
Can you like turn them to close them?
Yeah, they'll turn.
Oh, okay. Nifty. All right, and then you can lock them on the
Something like that
inside.
would've been done by a blacksmith.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, also, it was built in 1762. William Warner is a cooper. He makes barrels.
I have a Cooper. That's my middle last son's name.
Somewhere along the way, somebody in your family made barrels.
We visited Cooperstown. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, okay. Now, he had a side job. Courtney, I'm gonna pick on you. You look like you got nice teeth, nice smile.
She does.
Okay. What'd you get a toothache? Okay, so your husband looked at it and said, you know, man, that's really red. I think you need to go see somebody to have it looked at. So you're going to come and see Mr. Werner. Remember, he makes barrels. But he's got another side job going on. It's called a tooth bleeder. So he's going to take something pointy and sharp and find that tooth that's abscessed, and he's going to poke around to get it to bleed. Okay. So hopefully that takes care of the infection. But I hate to tell you this, didn't work. So now you got to get your tooth pulled. So he's going to refer you to
Hi,
the specialist.
Joan. Nice. Thanks for being
He's
here.
going to send you to the barber.
It's,
because
you
there are
know,
no dentists.
I'll get to breakfast
Barbers
later.
will change their teeth.
We did go to Tomato Pie Cafe, and it's a wonderful place. I just picked something that probably wasn't the best choice, but it was so fun.
The white signifies
My friend
the
loved her
white
breakfast,
cloth
by the way.
that a barber would have used
Hi, Marilyn.
to
Hi,
hold the
Jess.
tooth.
Hi, Phil's fan. Make sure I say hi, everybody. Hi, Bill.
Is the blood that got on it.
So yeah, we're doing a tour here of Lititz. It's super fun. Learning lots of cool history. Only 3 houses are on the National Registry of Historic Places, and this is one of them.
Thank goodness we
And
did,
the
yes.
Julia Sturgis
So
is
that was
another
his
one.
side job. Okay,
Here's all in house bed and breakfast.
As Danielle noted, it is private. That also is private. It's a B&B.
Mm-hmm.
The previous owners, I don't know about the current owners, but the previous owners did live on site.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if the current owners do or
That
not.
looks like a really big
I've been
house.
told that this was built sometime in the 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah, probably closer to the 1880s.
It's a really pretty,
It is.
residence. Yeah,
My wife has been in there when the previous owners, she said it was gorgeous
I
inside.
bet. I bet.
The last of the 3 is this one over here with the lavender shutters.
Oh, really?
It was built in 1781 by
Hi, Mom and
the last
Dad.
name that you already know, Sturgis.
Really?
It's William Sturgis.
Oh,
That's
was
going
he
to be
related?
Julius's great granddad.
Oh, really?
So he built that in 1781.
Okay. Interesting.
After he moves out, he's a potter, by the way. So if you need a potter, this is the guy
Okay.
that lives in. After he moves out, his family moves out. A gentleman by the name of Henry von Vleck moves in there. His job is going to be to make hats. And then next family in there is the Beck family. John Beck. John Beck makes shoes, so he's a cobbler.
Okay.
In 1815, though, he is approached by the church elders to take over the boys' school
Oh, really?
as a teacher and headmaster. And
Huh.
Mr. Beck says, I don't know anything about teaching. I make shoes. I'm good at that. Well, eventually, probably with some Moravian arm twisting, he takes it over. He becomes very good at it.
Huh.
And will run what becomes known as the John Beck School for Boys or the John Beck Academy for Young Gentlemen for 50 years.
Really?
Today, in our local school district, one of the elementary schools is the John Beck Academy.
Okay.
But he also became known as an educator nationwide.
Okay.
So he did become pretty famous.
So sorry, he was or was not related to Sturgis family?
No,
He just bought the, property
we saw
after.
Dennis Beck Realty.
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably
Oh, okay.
probably one of his ancestors.
Interesting.
Dennis's ancestors. Now, the school will be run by John Beck and, for 50 years. So you do the math, 1815. His son, Abraham Reinecke, will take over and run it for another 20 or 25
Okay.
years. And that's when it will close. All 3 Beck sons are noted artists. Again, if you have the opportunity to walk around the museum, there is artwork from all 3 sons in there.
Oh.
Abraham Reinecke, Martin,
Okay.
and Julius Augustus.
Neat.
Shops.
Yes.
Very few of them are privately owned. Most of them are owned by that company that I told you about.
Oh, really?
This one is privately owned.
Okay.
But most of them are owned by Lititz Improvement.
So they just hire someone to run the stores or let people choose what they want
They
to?
let people, the tenant will want to move in and
Okay.
so yeah, that's not an issue. They
Okay.
negotiate the rent with with Lititz Improvement. And
Huh.
now this one here, originally on this site there was a stone house.
Okay.
Around 1800, a gentleman by the name of Matthew Shooty will tear that down, and if you look at the front, not the storefront, but up here,
Okay.
this is what he built. That's a brick house.
Really?
And he will raise his family here.
Oh,
His
that's high.
son, or his job in the community, is a weaver. So where you saw that jacquard,
Right.
he would do stuff like that.
Okay.
Fancy cloth. So Matthew will live here, and then his son Jacob is going to move down the street. Jacob, in the around 1830, will open a brewery that was here. So Lititz did have beer.
Okay.
Matter of fact, brothers and sisters have men living in the brother's house, they made beer.
Oh,
They
really?
did okay with it.
Okay.
The ladies living in the sister's house made whiskey. They did even better.
Really?
Yeah, they actually, the whiskey was more profitable.
Okay.
It's an upscale,
Like a reuse it?
yeah, kind of a reuse it shop.
Okay.
Before we move on,
Okay.
one there across the street, big brick. If you look up top, you see the Hotel Sturgis.
Oh, yeah.
That is Edward Sturgis the builder.
Okay.
So this is, okay, we've got Granddad William.
Yes.
This is his grandson Edward.
Okay.
And Edward is Julius's uncle.
Okay.
They're all related.
Yeah.
My understanding is Julius's father was a grave digger in the community. He was a grave digger.
Wow.
Other than that, I don't know what he
Okay.
did. So he built that in 1867.
Okay.
Edward is a Civil War veteran, so he's going to build that. Upstairs today, there are apartments up there. But in the 1930s, around 1930-ish, what is now the Purple Robin and Slate Cafe was a movie theater.
Really?
And
What years about would you say?
from in 1930 to 1960s.
Really?
In the 60s, it was a movie theater.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, now, the previous shop in the Purple Robin, that's an art gallery, was a toy store.
Okay.
And they did renovations when it was the toy store. And they uncovered on the walls murals from the movie theater.
Really?
So if you go in there today, you will see murals on the back wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh.
you can see the murals.
I'll have to go look at that.
They've left them uncovered.
That's really neat. Wow. That's pretty fascinating. Did not know that.
Now, the big green one over there across the street.
The green one.
And think of it as a Cape Cod or 1.5 story. When
Okay.
it was originally built. The full second floor is added probably sometime after 1855, again during that Victorian period. But if you look here on the side, you can see the stone.
Oh, yeah.
That is what the whole first floor is made out of.
Okay.
That's the
beautiful.
original. I'm not sure about the second floor.
Okay.
For all I know, that could be brick covered with stucco.
So why is that stuff different than most other, the second story?
For whatever reason, they just decided to put the cedar sign.
Okay.
I really don't know why.
Okay.
So the bow windows and the hip gables are added at some point.
Okay.
Today, it was built in 1761 by the Geithner family. John Geithner and his family will open one of the first tanneries in Lancaster County, and it will be one of the largest tanneries in Lancaster County for 5 generations.
Really?
And he did it right behind.
Oh, did they really?
Where those shops?
Oh.
Where those shops are. That's where
Okay.
they had their tannery.
And the name was, what'd you say again, the name? Geithner.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Now, because tanneries smell, they're going to be asked to move it. Remember I told you there's a stream that runs through tannery.
Yes.
You just-
I know where you're talking about. You're fine.
Right back there, there's a glass office building.
Okay.
That straddles the stream.
Does it really?
Yeah. Actually, back when that building was originally built, not the glass part of it, but the brick part of it, was built in the 30s. It was a paper mill.
Uh-oh. They
So
smell.
it does.
They smell too.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, because I know what paper mills smell like. So it does straddles the stream.
That, I didn't know they have to look for that as well.
So that's how far back they moved it. If you were to walk that off, it's probably about 500 yards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
How much that helped with the smell, I'm not sure.
No.
I'm sure it helped some. When I first moved to Lititz, this was a bank.
Oh, really?
They didn't see they still have the
Oh, yeah, they do.
depository. Where are you ladies planning on eating?
Well, I'm not sure. We haven't really talked about that yet.
Okay.
I have eaten here before.
Okay, yeah, they got good food.
Yeah.
Of course, Bull's Head.
Thought about doing that.
Up the way here.
Yeah.
It's an English pub.
Yeah.
So you order, just if you were in England, you order at the bar.
Okay. I didn't know it was an English pub, honestly.
Yep.
Is it always in the way
Bull's
or
Head
when?
part of it is.
When it,
Now
okay.
there is a sit-down restaurant, but the menu's the same.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter where you go.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about this one.
All right.
From where this doorway is in this window.
Right here.
Okay, yeah, so right here. This
Okay.
doorway, built in 1797 by the Lichtenthaler family. So go from there to
The end.
Theater, where their
Okay.
sign is. This is one house.
Really?
It was
Really?
built in 1797.
Goodness gracious.
Now, also, if you look here above the window, you see the arch.
Oh,
That's one of the reasons for the size of the house, is because Mr. Lichtenthaler's job was to build and repair coaches and carriages.
Oh.
So so there were double door, like garage doors here.
Oh, really?
Big wooden doors.
That's so interesting.
Now, the other reason for the size, I joke that Mr. Lichtenthaler was very prolific and his wife was very tired. They had 14 children.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Now, this is where eventually Jacob Schute's going to move to.
Okay.
From down here.
Wow.
But yeah, there was a carriage.
See that little arch there in the brick?
There's the arch up there.
This
So
whole
is where
building.
The double doors would have been. You can't tell anymore when the arch comes down.
Right.
Because of the porch there.
That's interesting. There's that arch right there.
This was all one house.
That's a really big house.
Yes, it was.
Goodness
Well,
gracious.
They had a lot of room for 14 kids.
Yeah.
And from what I
You can
understand,
see how the brick changes up
my
there.
understanding, all 14 children survived into adulthood.
Really? That's unusual.
Big one across the way was built in 1900 by Miles Rudy.
Okay.
Miles is a butcher, but he's going to build this. There were some, from what I understand, log buildings here. One of which got moved. It's a private residence heading east of
Okay.
here now. It was the tobacconist. So when he decided he wanted to build this, that actually got moved
Okay.
and rebuilt. It's a private residence. It was up for sale not too terribly long ago. I'm not sure if it got sold or not. When he built it for the use of the community.
Okay.
There was a YMCA in there,
Oh.
and up on the second floor, a funeral home where
Oh.
they built coffins.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
Not
That's
sure about
great.
the third floor. That might have been part of the YMCA. Today, what's in there? Don't know anything about the second floor. The previous restaurant had banquet rooms up there. I don't know about
Okay.
the current restaurant. This is an upscale Italian restaurant.
Okay.
It is extremely expensive.
Okay.
And then there's offices up on the
Oh. Okay.
one third floor.
Neat.
We still got a couple more.
Trees look so pretty.
They do.
It's fun to be here this time of year. Yeah, they're really pretty. Like, pretty.
If you like hot chocolate, this is the place to
Oh,
go.
really?
Brazilian hot chocolate.
Brazilian hot chocolate. Okay.
Oh, I take that back. She's not open on Mondays.
All right, just not on Monday.
Not on Monday.
Every other day, this is very good hot chocolate.
White one across the street.
Mhm.
White clapboard. It's actually over log.
Really?
Yeah, so it was built in 1796 by Dr. Levi Hull. And it's covered, so you can't tell. And again, the Victorians put the bow window up there. I've seen pictures of it before it got sided, and it's yellow log. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a shame they don't let that.
Don't really know when the block storefront.
Okay.
I'd say probably 1920s. Or
Okay.
50s. But yeah, that building is locked.
So many stores.
Dr. No, I'll tell you about it. His son. Just
Okay.
This one here
Oh.
was built in 1877 by John Zook
Okay.
as a bookstore.
Oh, yeah, there's a bookstore right there on the plaque. That's
John
neat.
Zook also started the first newspaper. It
Oh.
was called the Sunbeam.
Hmm.
Now, the sign here, Zumacher Alley Shops.
Yes.
There's a big brick building up the alley there.
The one behind here. There's
Yeah.
a store back there.
That's where John Zook printed his newspapers.
Really?
He will eventually start a second newspaper called The Record.
Okay.
And then a competing newspaper gets started called The Express. Our local weekly paper today is called The Record Express.
Huh.
Eventually they met.
Interesting.
John Zook in his bookstore was obviously books, stationery, greeting cards, postcards, and bicycles.
Oh.
So he branched out.
Yeah.
He branched out. But if you go into the Zumacher Alley shop,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not busy, I don't know, any tourist stop this year? I'm not sure.
I don't think that's on our list, is it? Is it on our
They
list?
have been in the past.
Right. I was there for the chocolate
We
walk,
could have the
but
sign out if they do it also.
Yeah, I don't see one. But if you can get in there sometime when they're not very busy and the owner happens to be there,
yeah.
ask her about the printing presses. She might take you down.
Really?
The printing presses are still there. They've never been taken out of the building.
Oh, that's so
That's it. That's
so when
really
you go in
cool.
there, right in the middle of the building, you see an elevator.
Oh.
It goes down into the basement.
Oh.
It's how they carry newsprint down and then brought the printed papers back up.
Okay. That's a fun fact. Good
Now,
good clue for the
heard of a
people.
guy during your U.S. history classes just a couple years ago. California guy, got to be kind of famous. His name is John Sutter.
Yes.
He, of course, the only reason he's famous is because gold was found on his land.
Okay.
He's a mean, nasty, rotten human being. He really is not nice. He was a slaveholder in California.
Okay.
I'll show you how unkind and unnice he was. First of all, he is a Swiss businessman. He goes bankrupt in Switzerland. Flees Switzerland from his creditors and leaves the wife and kids there.
Really?
Initially, yeah. Eventually, he does bring them to America.
Okay.
He settles in St. Louis originally, fails in business there. God forbid how he got to Hawaii, but he did. He finally succeeds in Hawaii and goes back to the mainland. Now, what you got to remember, of course, is that California is part of Mexico at the time.
Okay.
He gets 150,000 acres from the Mexican government. I told you he was a slaveholder, not African slaves as far as we know. Indigenous peoples of California.
Okay.
So Native Americans.
Okay.
And so he will actually enslave them. He will, have them captured and put into slavery. So he's just not nice.
No.
Now, in 1849, of course, gold is found on his land. And even before that, though, he built a fort at what is called Sutter's Mill, today better known as Sacramento.
Okay.
When war broke out between Mexico and the United States, he will allow troops to be housed at his fort. But what's the problem for the Mexicans is that they are U.S. federal troops, not Mexican. Congress will never pay him for the use of the fort during that time. After gold's found, he manages to lose 150,000 acres.
Oh.
Everything is gone. He says he's broke. He will travel through this area on his way to Washington, D.C., petitioned Congress a couple of times to be repaid for everything he lost in California. Congress doesn't ever give him a dime. Okay, but now he's broke. And he's going to stay in the hotel here. We'll talk about the hotel next. He's going to stay in the hotel. And then he decides he takes the waters from the springs that cured his rheumatism. I have arthritis. It doesn't help. But probably a better reason for him to stay in the community is that he has two granddaughters who are school age. He will enroll them in Linden Hall.
Oh. So his family's back here by then, I guess. His family had come by this time. Okay.
So the granddaughters, his son is living in Mexico. His son and his wife. But the granddaughter's living with Sutter. And he's going to build a house in 1871. Now remember I told you, he's broke.
Okay.
Or so he says. That's the house that he built.
This one?
Yep.
Really?
That brick.
I didn't know that.
It was built in 1871. Sutter and his wife Anna and the granddaughters, granddad and grandma lived there the rest of their lives. So for 9 years, they're going to live in that because Anna Sutter dies about 7 to 9 months after John does.
Okay.
Dr. Otto's son will marry one of Sutter's granddaughters.
Oh, really?
And that is the third building in Lititz that is on the National Register of Historic
Oh,
Places.
okay.
So
There you
that's
go.
what he built for $10,000 and had no money.
Huh. Well, that's
I think
interesting
it was
history.
the best living.
Interesting history.
All
Okay.
right. Now, you already know about the Zumocker. So that is the original hotel here. We're pretty sure that the original Zumocker was right inside here.
Okay.
Or I should say is inside here.
Okay.
Because what is here today was built around the original Zumocker. So
Okay.
if you look at this over here and then what's up that way.
Okay.
So there's been a hotel on this site since 1764.
Oh, wow.
What we see today architecturally is some added around 1800, and then a couple of years later in the early 1800s, more of it is added.
Okay.
Added to it. So this is where Sutter stayed until he built his house.
Okay.
And then if you look up here, you'll see the difference in brick. That lighter brick is an addition that
Yeah.
when the bank here on the corner owned that. So originally Farmers National Bank and then Susquehanna Bank owned that.
Okay.
And they're the ones that put the addition.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Truist Bank or BB&T prior to them are the ones that sold it, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So there's a nice fair trade shop in there.
Yeah, I've been in there.
Any
Okay.
questions?
No, you cover a lot of material. Okay, where's your favorite place to eat in Lititz? Where do you go?
I go here.
This is?
There's another place. What time is it? 1:30. Okay. There's a little place
146.
right up the street here called Made of Pie Cafe.
Oh, we had that for breakfast,
Did that for
actually.
breakfast. All right. Then I'd say probably right here.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to eat there.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
So, by
Well,
the way,
thank you.
just so you know, that stone building over there,
Yes.
that's 1940s.
Oh.
That's 20th century.
Okay.
But on the other side of that is a parking lot. That's where Jacob Schutte built his brewery. And the brewery was there, I think, until sometime in the 1880s when it burned down.
So, what was that building before it was a?
Nothing. The insurance company built it.
Courtause? Okay, it was
No,
never.
the
It looked
the
like a
insurance company
courthouse to
built
me.
it. Yeah, it does look like that.
But okay, always is an insurance
But no,
company.
it's always been an insurance company.
Okay.
Well, ladies, in that case, I will turn you loose and you go get something to eat.
Nice meeting you so much.
I'm going to go home and get
Good. Warm up.
have some tea and warm up a bit. And it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Safe journey back to Oklahoma.
Thank you. Yes.
So you live close by?
My mom and dad still live
They still
over
live
in
here?
York, so I come and see them a lot and bring
nice.
friends sometimes.
Nice.
Super fun. We love
Maybe,
you.
sometime if you come up in the summer.
I will. Okay.
Check the
I got it for
Oh, okay.
check the museum's website because we do starting in June. We will do concerts once a month.
Okay.
In July and August.
That'd be
In the
fun.
gardens. One in September. Is an ice cream social.
Okay.
And that's from Greco's.
Okay.
We will be doing, of course, the Candlelight Tours again in December, and of course the Carol Singing.
Yeah.
That's a joint effort between the church and the Archives Committee of the church.
Okay.
And our foundation. Also, we do in conjunction with the Archives at the end of October, Departed Spirits. So you would get to see various places along Main Street, around the
You're fine.
church, and you would actually get to meet departed residents of Lititz. You have somebody portraying them, obviously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Last 2 years.
Huh.
Last year I did a pastor that was here in the 1700s,
Oh.
and the year before that I was the town physician who had to take over the military hospital where the military surgeon died.
Okay. Well, that's
So
been
for several
fun.
months, the town physician had to care for their soldiers.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's something else that we do.
Okay.
Of course, Lititz has a big craft show coming up. It always is in August.
Okay.
Every year, second Saturday in August. This is all closed to
Is it really?
traffic, as is Broad Street here.
Really? I didn't know that either.
Around 600 vendors.
Oh, my.
And,
That's in August, you said?
That's
Goodness.
sponsored by the Rotary Club, and proceeds all go to the charity.
Oh, neat. Yeah, you guys do so many good things here for the community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, by the way, if you don't know this, and you come from Oklahoma, you may not know this. In the parking,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, the church owned all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do it.
Okay.
Today it owns 4 pieces of real estate.
Okay.
Sold the first one.
Yes.
Over that way, line, originally was a Lutheran. There was a Lutheran church that was built in called St. James Church. The church building was gone, and when the land was given to the Rotary, the cemetery was established.
Okay.
That cemetery is still there.
Okay.
That's maintained by the Rotary.
No.
Not an active cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 100 graves, all marked. We have who they are.
Hmm. Okay.
We know exactly who's where. And a number of years ago, some renovations and stones that we replaced. Somebody decided to visit the game to pick up the stones.
Oh.
So they're more or less back where they were.
Okay.
That's number 2. Number 3 is the park.
Yeah, I love the park.
Lititz Springs Park. That
Yeah.
is old time.
Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that. Oh, sorry, it's so loud. Nice. Well, make sure they hang on to it. Please.
Okay.
Okay.
to about an acre of land.
Okay.
Norfolk Southern needed this Johnson, well, not Johnson. This ring plant. Here it is.
Okay.
Periodically, maybe every other day or so, you will hear a train whistle because they got to change because they're delivering alcohol tankers.
Oh.
For the
We saw a
ring.
train this morning at Tomato Pie Cafe.
They may have been there.
Huh.
Because they got to close off Main Street.
I'm not sure. Okay, I don't think it whistled.
Yeah, they may have.
Okay.
But that's their turnaround. They change tracks.
Okay.
There, so they need it. Now they asked for land along the edge of the park.
Okay.
So the church decided we would give Norfolk Southern a half acre.
Mm-hmm.
But the borough made a mistake. Rec Center, that was built in Liberty, and they built a parking lot. They built it on park property.
Oh.
Which they shouldn't.
Oh.
So the borough gave us a half acre.
Okay.
So while we were giving up an acre, we got back to us.
Oh, okay.
And really, when I say it's an acre, it is, from what I understand, about 10 feet wide, about 2,000 feet long. So it's not like we lost any
Yeah.
big real estate. But what it's also going to do, it's going to allow Norfolk Southern to do their tracks,
Okay.
but also to bring industrial stuff.
Okay.
And the last
That'd be
piece-
cool.
The last piece of real estate that the Marina Church owns is that little triangle right
Oh, does it really?
Yep.
So you call it the town triangle? I'm like, it's not really a square, but is it the town
We
triangle?
call it the town square.
Okay,
Although,
'cause that's what I
really bad
say.
at geometry, even I know that's a
It's
triangle.
a triangle.
But, before I moved into Lititz, because I moved here in 2009, if you come here at Christmas time, you will see the nativity scene on the thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
About probably about 25 years ago now, somebody passed through town saw that. That can't be there. Separation of church and state. Gotta go. So they fired a lawsuit against the borough of Lititz.
Grief. Did you really?
Lititz filed, hired an attorney from Lancaster.
Yeah?
Who did some great research on all the archives, and into the report.
Nice.
The state dismissed because the church-
It owns it. That's awesome.
Yeah, which is kind of neat though, because this theoretically,
Uh-huh.
and this is a state road.
Right.
That's a state road. So
But that
theoretically,
triangle.
it should belong to the
Interesting.
Never be transferred.
Wow.
And never will be.
That's awesome. So that shows you the importance of archives. That's very cool. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed meeting you. I'm sure I'll see you again.
It
But
was a complete pleasure.
Well, very impressive how you keep all that.
man, it's amazing. You're like a walking encyclopedia of Lititz.
It's funny, I do that. My wife keeps telling me I should have been a teacher. Probably she was right. I do have a history.
Nice.
I never got certified as a teacher.
Uh-huh.
I never took the education classes. My idea, though, was that I was going to go to law school.
Okay.
Except that I was only stupid about America instead.
Oh.
Back in 1972. So I never did make it to law school. I've had jobs over the years that I got because I have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
My first job out of college was working for a consumer finance company.
Huh.
My wife's rich. Oh, you did have rudimentary. I just had to talk to people. And then for 20 years I was in pharmaceutical sales.
Okay.
Eventually, as an adult learner, I went back to school and got
Yeah.
degrees in paralegal.
Nice.
So I did practice as a paralegal for 10 years.
Wow.
This is the first job I've ever had that I've actually used my history degree.
Yeah. Well, still, it came back around.
Appreciate meeting you. And
It's Bob.
Pleasure. And,
Yes, Bob. We loved meeting you.
Safe trip back
You're
to,
great.
Oklahoma.
okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Enjoy your lunch.
Yes. Yes.
By the way, if you like fish and chips,
I do love fish and chips. I love Britain fish and chips. Okay, Courtney. All right, y'all. I'm going to just take a minute to catch up on all the chat, but I just thought it'd be fun to have you guys hear a history lesson. Okay, I'm going to go through. Yes, so thanks, Bob. Yes, he's awesome. He just knows so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that. What a cool, and now you can watch it over and over again because now this is going to be on my channel and you can just relearn everything that, well, I'll have to relearn what I forgot already because there's so much information. It was amazing. Okay, okay, Drew. Let's see. Well, thank you guys so, okay, let me see. My wife and I used to get out olive oil and vinegar at Olo and it, oh yeah, you got the Olio and Lititz just up the road from you. Got to be careful how many oil tastes to do Olio though, if you know what I mean. Thank you. You know what? I actually had some oil from them at the Tomato Pie Cafe this morning. That was pretty cool. It was really good. But yes, thank you for that tip. Well, Drew, I'm glad that you had fun learning it. Well, hey, this is not really play. You're learning history. So it was just very, and yes, Bill, I agree. So thank you, all of you. Wrestler Mania, Drew, Bill, Drew. Who else have we got here? I'm going to say hello and goodbye, and then I'm going to go eat lunch because I'm starving. Who else is on here? Joan, you're always so sweet for tuning in. And it's, yeah, Lititz is so pretty, and I hope you guys heard everything that they offer here all year long. There's stuff to do here for the community. Hi, Mom and Dad. And breakfast was pretty good. My friend got the gluten-free tomato pie, and she thought it was delicious, actually. And we'll, of course, I'll get to that later on a different video. Jess, yes, we had a great time. It's a really interesting tour. And we're going to eat lunch. I'm going to do more of the best kept secrets tour and do some more stops for that. But it's nonstop fun here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I've had a great time. Let me see if I can say hi and bye. Do you see I'm wearing, I look funny, like I'm wearing my mom's winter coat because it's very cold here today. In case you didn't know, I mean, I think it's like 30 something. It's 15 degrees below average chilly, so I'm like I'm in Antarctica or something, I don't know. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that tour. Yes, park a day for sure. It is warm, so I'm glad my mom is so generous. It was a fun morning. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and now we can learn more about Lititz every time we feel like getting on the channel and watching this again. So thanks for being here. Enjoy your next adventure. I'll let you know how lunch goes later. Bye-bye.